don't know their own history. Most Israelis don't know what really happened in 1948. Most Israelis believe the naive story that the Palestinians ran away in 1948 by themselves because they were told by their leaders to do so. And they don't understand that the Israeli army went into village after village and drove the people out, sometimes committing war crimes like the massacre in Tantura and others.
איזה 270-80 אני קבעתי אותם.
לא, היה ולא.
My name is Alon Schwartz. I'm a filmmaker from Israel. I made the film Tantura, which is a film about the history of Israel, the untold part of our founding myth. Basically, it's a film about a Palestinian village that existed on the shoreline and was taken by the Israeli army 1 week after Israel was founded. And what happened there is that there was a battle where a number of Israeli soldiers and a number of Palestinians got killed. But then after the battle ended, the men of the village were killed by the Israeli soldiers. Many men, not all of them. The number is unknown. There's different accounts to it, but basically it's known as the Tantura massacre. It was brought to light by a person by the name of Teddy Katz, an Israeli, who did his thesis on this in the University of Haifa, but then he was sued by the soldiers of that unit. It's called the Alexandroni Brigade, and basically they forced him to write an apology letter, and then he was thrown out of the university, and he was considered a liar and a person that made this up in Israel. 23 years later, I got his tapes, I got access to his audio recordings, I listened to them. He recorded both soldiers, Israeli soldiers in Hebrew and Arabic, villagers who used to live in the village. And basically, the story of the film is the story of what happened in 1948 in Tantura, what happened with Teddy Katz while investigating this story and how he was silenced. And also, it's a portrait of Israeli society about how we sugarcoat out our own history in order to feel comfortable telling ourselves the story of the beginning of Israel. I made this film because I thought it was important, first and foremost, to tell Israelis, Israeli Jews, Jews in America and all over the world, the true story not of the village of Tantura, but of the bigger Nakba, the bigger Palestinian catastrophe. And it's important because for us, for the Israelis, for the Jews, we don't know this story, a lot of us. We think we're the pure nation and that we are perfect. But even the left in Israel doesn't talk about 1948. And the issue of 1948 is important because when you realize what happened in 1948, which is an ethnic cleansing, as part of a war in the context of post-Holocaust, in the context that Arab states attacked us. But the end result, the factual result, was the departure of 750,000 Palestinians out of what is now Israel. And that creates a massive refugee number. And these are people that still today, a lot of them are refugees. But my message to Israelis is that we need to recognize what actually happened. And when we understand that what happened, we will be able to be more sympathetic to the other side, be able to listen to what the Palestinians are saying. And even if we don't agree on a solution, it will open us up for their story. And there is a story on the Palestinian side that is also true. These are people that were driven from their home. Most Israelis believe the naive story that the Palestinians ran away in 1948 by themselves because they were told by their leaders to do so. And they don't understand that the Israeli army went into village after village and drove the people out, sometimes committing war crimes like the massacre in Tantura and others. So Israeli Zionism is the core. It's something good. It's what brought us back from a nation that was put on trains and in gas chambers to a nation that can live safely in a spot of its own in the world. This is Zionism for Israelis. For Palestinians, Zionism is a terrible world. It's the people who threw them out of their land. So it's very nice to ask, why don't you want the Palestinians back? We don't want them back because it threatens our lives. That's how we see it. Now, that doesn't mean we need to occupy and have apartheid and for decades have military rule over another people. There needs to be a solution where there's two entities. And what scares Israelis in the right of return is that it threatens the very basic existence of us in our own state. Israel is never going to make peace with the Palestinians without outside help and maybe pressure to guide it to the right place. Israel is a very strong country today. It's getting to be more and more violent. It's a very racist society today. So it's very, very naive to think that Israelis are going to give this up. They're not. They're not in the next 50 to 100 years. Israelis and Jews need their little corner in the world to be safe in. And we're not going to give this up. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. We're going to die and kill everybody else before it happens. That's the DNA of Israel. And I know this DNA because I'm part of it.